Straya. How are you going? Hey, you going? You good? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's NBA Straya's best and worst NBA stuff for the day for Thursday, March 5. That means it's already the weekend. It's a long weekend around the country at points. You got a Grand Prix this weekend as well. Footy's back. We've got Footy Unfiltrated going hammer and tongs. It's awesome. It's all happening. Exciting times. I'm going to the United NBL Finals game tonight. That's going to be awesome. United versus Tassie. Who knows? I went to Phoenix Wildcats last night. Forgot to wear my best mate Nick K's jersey. But anyway, good job by the Phoenix, I guess. Anyway, this is NBA Straya's best and worst NBA stuff of the day. I am your host, James Clements. We are in Larry Armour Studios. Let's start with the Daily Whip Round. Oh, is it a whip round? Is it, Jim? Yes, it is. Not a giant amount of news today, really, beyond the fact that Aaron Gordon is going to be joining Trae Young, Jason Tatum and co. as one of the players coming back from injury, possibly at the end of this week. So maybe in the next day or two. So that's kind of nice, isn't it? Aaron Gordon desperately needs just to get back on the court and not tear a hammy again for a month, right? That's all the Nuggets kind of need. Anyway, the news. Chauncey Billups. Chauncey behind bars. Yeah, he's got a court date. It's like set for November. Who knows what's going to happen before then. It's all going on. Lou Dort kind of half apologized for his dirty trip of Jokic the other day. It was a physical game throughout the whole game. Obviously, that was unnecessary contact that I shouldn't have done. I got the worst of it by getting thrown out of the game. But yeah, it was a high-level game. I'm a competitor, so I compete. That's a physical game, and there are limits to it. And I went over the limit. Isn't that nice? I guess. Just don't trip, dudes. I think intentionally trying to hurt somebody is probably not ideal on the basketball court. Anyway, hey, what happened in today's NBA games, Jim? Let's do it. OKC versus the New York Knickerbockers of New York City was an absolute ripper. The Knicks were 19-0 this season at home with a lead heading into the fourth quarter. They are now 19-1. Womp, womp, womp. Massive three by SGA. That step back was beautiful. Chet hit 6 threes in the first half. He was going off his head. Karl Anthony Towns was dominating. They got Isaiah Hartenstein back. It didn't, I don't know, it felt like at times the Knicks was still just doing what they wanted because Josh Hart was out rebounding everybody. It was a crazy game. It was awesome. Brunson was good. Cat was good. SGA was good. Chet was good. And OKC are just that deep that it's sort of like, we're better than you. Check this out. But this is one of the big strengths, obviously, of OKC, their depth. And even though that bench didn't really light it up today, and Landry Shamet got the Knicks back into the game at one point, helped them get that lead, OKC's poise and their defense always strikes me. And in a game like this, where the Knicks had 2 chances at the very end to tie it and force overtime, they missed both threes. It was brutal. But that's kind of what OKC do, it feels like, right? They just choke the ever-living crap out of you. And then you're just like tapping out on the ground and they've won the game. Charlotte kicked the absolute bejesus out of the Boston Celtics.
But he got straight killed
in Boston. 118-89. This is one of those games where it happens what was it? Was it Greg Popovich who was basically out there saying, like, you have like a handful of games each year where you can't do anything wrong, and then you have a handful of games every year where you can't do anything right. Felt like that for the Boston Celtics today. They couldn't do anything right. Charlotte, they were awesome because they are possibly the greatest team ever. I was on top of this a couple of weeks ago. Literally, the tier in the power rankings was the greatest team ever. And they have now won 6 straight games by 15-plus points. That is the longest streak by any team since the 17-18 Warriors. You might remember them as being the terrifying whirring death machine Golden State Warriors. So 6 straight games, all by 15-plus points. Only one team in NBA history has a longer streak of doing that. That's the 03-04 Pistons that won 8 straight by 15-plus. So 6 straight. They're tied for second all-time with the 17-18 Warriors, the 11-12 Spurs. That's like the beginning of the beautiful game Spurs. The 89-90 Suns, nice, and the 88-89 Cavs. I'm just saying, we've got to have a bit of a conversation about this Charlotte team, don't we? Could the Hornets make some noise in these playoffs? Could they win the title, Jim? I don't know. Their defense is still a little bit, here you going every so often. But when they're dropping 118 on the Boston Celtics, one of the two best defenses going in the NBA, look out. Just look out. I mean, come on. They're 16-4 over their last 20 games. They're now above 500. They were like 10 to 12 games under 500 when the calendar flipped to 2026. It's crazy. Great job by the Hornets. And the cool thing today was like no one sort of like absolutely machinated it. But their simple idea of like, oh, at every single point of this game, we have a really high level NBA ball handler, initiator, can create a shot for themselves or somebody else guy. Between basically LaMelo, Spindles Miller, Connie Nips, Kobe White, even Miles Bridges, like they can just sort of do stuff at every point. It's awesome. They rock. Oh boy, Charlotte. I love them. Should have worn the hat today, but I didn't. Utah came up short in Philly in hilarious fashion. The great Philly escaped this one, 106-102. Keontae George had 30. Maxey got them over the hump. Q Grimes is massive for them down the stretch. Portland smoked Memphis 122-114. And Atlanta killed Milwaukee. It's not Algonquin for the good land. Even with Giannis back, they run roughshod over them in the fourth quarter, 131-113, with like 7 dudes in double figures. And currently, the Clippers are absolutely beating the sans hell out of the Indiana Pacers. At the moment, there's 5 minutes left. It's 123-92. They're up by 31, so that's why we're taping the show. So there you go. Those were the games. Who was the best performer of the day, Jim? Oh, that's a good question. I should press the button.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
With all due respect to the 29-8-2 from Kawhi. In 23 minutes. Jesus. SJ's 26 with a big, massive 3 that basically helped them win that game. Chet's 28-8 with 6 made threes. Not bad. Good size of 34-2 for Keontae George. I'll tell you what. The best one today was Drew Holiday. God, he was good against the Memphis Grizzlies. 35, 5, and 11 assists with a steal. He hit 8 of 11 from 3. Drew Holiday feels like the forgotten man up there in Portland, and he was absolutely off his head against this crazy, young, fun, weird, not very good Memphis team, who also had like pretty good games from their dudes. Like Jalen Wells had a really good game. He ends up with 24, 3, and 2. They also had a decent one, I think, from what was their other young fella? He went off. I had this up before. Yeah, they got 20 from G.G. Jackson. And Olivier Maxence Prosper. He's going to pop up again in a second. Just remember that name. How about Spud of the night, Jim?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
The night. How about 0 of 6 for Pritch better have my money? Peyton Pritchard, 0 of 6. Brutal. He's gone a little bit boom or bust the last little bit. But anyway, 0 of 5 for Isaiah Joe as well. 7 of 19 for Jaylen Brown for his 20 minutes. He was a minus 20 against the Hornets. He did have a sick dunk, which we'll talk about in a second. But I would like to very much thank our good friend Scoot Henderson because what did he shoot from the field there, Jim? Oh, yeah. That's right. Chill. He shot 311. Thanks, Scoot. Don't mind that. That's pretty bloody good. Up against the Memphis Grizzlies, 311. Yeah, beauty. Call him Amber. All right. What about old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? SGA getting it left, right, and center. Mike Brown complaining about him in the press conference after. He's a tough cover. He does a great job of convincing the referees, probably better than anybody in the league, that he's getting hit. Mike Brown got slapped with a T. It was, a bit dodge. I don't know, but this is it. You're watching the worm turn in real time on OKC as people go, these guys suck. Lou Dort's tripping dudes. SGA flops more than anybody. Ugh. This is what happens to the winners. We turn on them. Simple as that. But SGA just like running into Jalen Brunson and like Brunson getting called for the blocking foul was a bit, how you going? Donovan Clingan, bit of an old mate, no mates. There was like a moment. He sort of just swung his elbow around. And this is against Olivier Maxence Prosper and kind of collected him. But it's not like he raised the elbow. He sort of just swung it as like a get off me kind of vibe. It was a bit of a weird one. He got booted too. Poor Donovan Clingan. But anyway, tough scenes there. But obviously, oh mate, no mates, it's got to go to our man Jock Landale, the legendary Aussie, the Rooster. Rock 'em, sock 'em, block 'em, jock 'em, Landale, because not only did Bobby fighting Bobby Portis, fighting round the world, old crazy eyes, Bobby Portis, piff the ball off his bloody head as he was going out of bounds. Bobby picks it up, throws it, wangs it off Jock Landale's bonce. But Jock has the wherewithal to sort of duck his head, and it bounces off his head back into Bobby Portis, out of bounds on Milwaukee. Good job, Jock. But then he gets whacked in the ghoulies as he's running up. I think it was Nicky Alexander. No, not Nicky Alexander Walker. It was somebody on the Bucks who just gave him the old "how you going" in the old fella. Just as they went past, just the old squirrel punch. Not great. Not very nice. Might have been Usman Dang actually who did it, or Pete Nance, one of the two. Anyway, they basically made the list. Bobby Portis doesn't make the list because I'm afraid of him. Just ask Nikola Mirotic. That bloke will soon as look at you and punch in the head. Doesn't matter if he's teammate. Just don't put Jordan Poole on the Bucks. Boosh. Anyway, so yeah, poor Jock. Just copping it. Like a hit to their head and a shot to the groin. It sounds like he's in a bloody Bon Jovi song. A hit to the head, a shot to the groin, baby. They hit Jock Landale in the nuts. Leave my boy Jock Landale alone. He got roosted right in the nuts. Yeah, tough scenes there from our man Jock. Anyway, pantsing of the night. Bon Jovi. A shot to the head, a hit to the groin, baby. Jock Landale has got no mates, no mates. Anyway, pantsing of the night. Jaylen Brown absolutely faced Moose Diabate. Jeez, it was a vicious dunk. That was sick. Go watch that one. And Spindles Miller also got Hugo Gonzalez in that same game, which is pretty gnarly. And the other one that I really enjoyed today was OG Anunoby, the OG Anunoby goes over and through Chet with about 4 minutes to go, which was like a pretty clutch moment too. Like just sort of got Chet on his hip and just whonked right on his head. Not bad. Who was better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons today?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. 22-10-2 for Jabari Walker on Philly versus Utah. Enjoyed that. He was very, very good. We also got 17-9 for the aforementioned Olivier Maxence Prosper. That was very good, and they were all better than Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, and Bronny James in the NBA today. All right, quick Aussie check-in for the Aussies today, because we had a bunch of them in play. Dyson Daniels against Milwaukee. It was not Algonquin for the good land for the Bucks. It was for Dyson. He had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Not bad. 7 of 10 from the floor, 0 of 1 from 3. We're going to talk about his threes tomorrow, but anyway. Jock Landale, 16 minutes. He had 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 ball hit, and 1 bounce hit. Yeah, 3 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 3 from deep, which you love to see. Josh Green in that blowout win over Boston. He played 21 minutes. He had 6 points, 1 of 3, all of which were from downtown. He went 3 of 3. Free for free on the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He was a plus 10. On you, Greeny. And Aussie Matty T played 13 minutes against the Memphis Grizzlies. He had 0 points. He went 0 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 2 from downtown, but he had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. I just love that Matty's playing. He's been beset. It's like 18 months worth of injuries that he's been copping, so that's really nice. All right, tomorrow's games. What are we looking at? We absolutely crushed the picks today. We went 5 of 6. And the only one we missed out on, we nailed OKC winning. Because I think yesterday we talked about maybe New York. I think New York would cover. But this morning I sort of talked about it on the NBA Coffee Run video. We're going to go OKC. Hartenstein coming back. I think a little bit more size. They were all good. And that was the only one that bloody missed. So we nailed all the other ones. So tomorrow, big Friday, we've got Dallas at Orlando. Remember, you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. The link is in our show description or our social bios. So go do that. Anyway, Dallas at Orlando. Really interesting game. The Mavs are like sneakily just up against like decent teams. You feel like they don't really stand too much of a chance. And Orlando, I mean, they're the sort of go-to thing for me this season of like, can you just get like point in the right direction? Dallas got smoked by the Hornets the other day. Smoked by the Thunder. Smoked by the Grizzlies. I'm going to go Orlando -8.5. Big Desmond Bane game. Paolo was really good against the Wizards the other day. Let's go the Magic at home. They need to win these games against the sort of crummy competition, and they need to win them big. We've got a huge tank-off tomorrow. Utah at Washington. Gross. Who's watching this game? So the Yaz, they put up a very good fight against Philly, and then they lose. Perfect, right? Washington are starting a bunch of G-Leaguers. They're 2.5-point favorites. Who's going to win this? Do we have to pick this game? Because I don't think either of them want to win it. Will the Wizards just like fall backwards into winning this? What do you reckon? It's just gross. I am going to say, looking at the standings, the Wizards probably can afford to lose this a hint more maybe than the Yaz. The Yaz have got 18 wins. The Wizards got 16. Let's go Washington. I think they'll maybe just pull that out. Maybe I'll take Utah +2.5 because I'm getting the points. Gross. Miami host Brooklyn. They killed them the other day. I think they killed them again. -12.5. We're going to go the Heat. This is one of the things when you're playing a decent team up against a tanking team. The tanking team getting those points, I don't care really. I'm going to take the favorite at whatever number. 12.5 for Miami. Lock it in. Golden State Houston is an absolute ripper of a game. No Steph Curry. Durant up against his old mates, Draymond. They're 9.5-point favorites at home, the Rockets. And I think I kind of have to take them. I looked at this for a little bit. I'm like, 9.5 might be a little bit too much. Golden State have this tendency to stick with teams. They've lost the last couple on the trot. They lose by 13 to the Clippers, but they lost by 28 to the Lakers. And I kind of feel like this is going to be a little bit more like that. So I'm going to go Houston -9.5 against Golden State, just because I think they've got enough size and defense to really put the clamps on Golden State. So a bit of a worrisome time for the Warriors. Toronto go to Minnesota. That's an interesting one. Remember, was it Minnesota who hadn't won in Toronto in like 20 years? The Raptors are +6.5 in Minnesota. Minnesota have turned a bit of a corner, have been really, really good. I expect Toronto to play this one pretty tough, though. I think they can keep this one close, can't they? Against good teams, the Raptors aren't that good. We understand that. But I think in Minnesota, they could probably put up a bit of a fight here, right? So they lose to the Knicks the other day pretty badly. They smash the Wizards. I want to take Toronto +6.5. They lose by, 3 against the Spurs last week. Let's go Raps, +6.5. Come on, show me something. Detroit, San Antonio. What a ripper of a game this is again, considering we just got it the other day, and it was really good. Why do you keep talking like that? Jim, I don't know. But still, Detroit +3.5. They lost the last one by 11. They've since played the Cavs, or they beat the Thunder, the Cavs, the Magic, and then lost to the Cavs again. This is a really interesting one. I'm going to take Detroit, though, at full strength, +3.5. I reckon they could even win this one in San Antonio. But the Spurs do have Stephon Castle and a bunch of other weapons to throw at them. I think the Spurs win a really, really tight one. So I'll take the +3.5 because I think Detroit could sneak out a win, but I expect the Spurs just to hold on for a sneaky W. Chicago Phoenix. It's a 1993 NBA Finals rematch. I'm going to go the Bulls +11.5 because the Suns, they did away with Sacramento yesterday, which is very good. But the Bulls, look, they sort of hung around for just enough yesterday. They benched Josh Giddey before he got his triple-double, which was a bit, hey, we're tanking, remember? The +11.5 against the Suns team that'll basically probably try to shoot the lights out. The Bulls might keep this one close, so let's keep it within 12. We'll take the Chicago +11.5. Denver hosts the Lakers. Jokic versus Luka. That should be awesome. I'm going to go the Nugs -5.5, though, just because Jokic is really good. That's almost about it. Jamal Murray. The Lakers defense is just so bad. I'm going to take the Nugs. Not Denver. That is Denver. That's especially in Denver as well, at home. They need a couple of these good wins as well in this last month of the season, don't they? New Orleans -4.5 in Sacramento because the Kings suck and the Pelicans are at least trying. So yeah, the Pelicans, good effort against the Lakers yesterday. I think they bounce back and actually beat Sacramento tomorrow. So there you go. That's it. They're all the picks for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow for a big full show with the Friday Power Ranking show. Set you up for the weekend and everything. Now I'm going to go run off and go to this United game. So you can find all of our daily picks at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya. You can find the link in our show description or our social bios. Also, you can support the show by buying us a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. It keeps the lights on. Also means that I can buy a beer at the basketball tonight, maybe. So help us out. Keep the pirate ship afloat. Appreciate you. But there you go. That's the best and worst of the NBA today. Go check out Footy Unfilterated, our new AFL footy show, if that's a bit of your vibe as well. You can go join our Supercoach League as well. Jim does Supercoach. We'll cover that next week. Or probably tomorrow as well. We'll do a bit of a team reveal show. So tune in to NBA Straya every day for everything NBA. Subscribe or I will fight you. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? We'll catch you tomorrow. Later, hosen.